Hello.
Hi. How are we doing for time?
Not bad.
2 minutes, not bad.
The mayor just rushed in.
15 minutes ago, I was in Fingal. And so thank you, OPP, for abandoning Elgin. But we made it on time. What a beautiful day out. It's 15 degrees in my car right now.
Woo.
Well, that's what the temperature says it is outside. It's warmer than that in the car.
Yeah.
I got to get this straight. Hey, aren't you freezing coming back from LA?
Yeah. Well, I brought the weather with me as I promised.
You brought some.
Come back.
You did. This is better than it was.
But yeah, what a time away, Joe.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see any work you were actually doing. I just saw all these different visiting things. You're riding transit, and doing burgers, and here's Pop Daddy or whatnot.
Yeah. No, Stevie Wonder. And,
yes. Well, Stevie Wonder didn't see you. But
no, he did.
No.
Yeah, we hung out.
Okay.
I've got a selfie.
I thought Stevie Wonder's blind.
Okay. He didn't see me.
There you go. That's that was the joke. When I have to explain them, they're not near as funny.
You know what's funny is everyone, did you see Stevie Wonder? I was like, no, I did. Yeah, I saw Stevie Wonder. Did he see you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome. It's we rushed through a show last week, and we do apologize for that. But with Grayden in LA and me here,
my goodness,
all sorts of stuff going on. So we're back. So please get your St. Thomas questions out. We had a fairly short agenda meeting last night, so I'll go over some of that and what's some big things that are coming out of it.
Yeah.
Right. And then we had 3 public meetings about new housing in St. Thomas, and we'll see what happens with each of those meetings too.
Very good.
Well, 2 of them are housing, and I guess the third one's about housing dogs. So I guess it's housing for all.
Housing. Right? I love that. And I was just over at the Save the Museum open house.
At the how's that going there?
Very good. I saw Councillor Clark over there representing the city.
Excellent. We sharing the workload, it seems. I was out in Fingal because this is my year to serve on the Grayden Laing Trust.
Yep.
And so some of the neat things that we're able to do with Garbage for Toronto. they pay a lot, and we get to disperse some of the funds to mostly Southwold, but all of Southern Ontario. And it's great to be out there working with Mayor Jones and some of the councillors from Southwold and having some fun.
Oh, it's incredible.
Yeah.
All the good stuff they do. I know I'm involved with some of those things.
Well, Winterfest. We talked about the Winterfest in Southwold this year. The Grayden Laing Trust helps sponsor those types of events in Southwold. Also, it's just great. But we talked about fast pitch in Southwold. We talked about there's some great things that we'll talk more about those sponsorships at a later date. But it's fun to be back wearing the St. Thomas hat on the Grayden Laing Trust.
I love it. And I was just seeing online too, Jumbo Mania is wrapping up in about 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So if you haven't
That's been almost a year long, hasn't it? It's been a long time. I remember you were out doing some filming and stuff right at the beginning. So right. I can't quite figure out when it was because elephants never forget. Got it. All right. What else is up?
Council, what was happening? You were saying a 45-minute
pretty quick council meeting, but let me just go through some of the highlights. We talked about, again, we've asked and said we will review our strategic plan and all of the events on our strategic plan middle meeting of every month, and take one of the topics and fully see where we're at on it.
Yep.
Well, it's funny because this one fell to be pillar number 5, which is housing for everyone. But we've been spending a lot of time talking about housing anyway. And with Daniel Nielsen and the end of the last 10-year report on housing and the start of the new 10-year report on housing, we all sat there at council and said, did we just talk about this? and we kind of did. So that went pretty quick last night. And then changing a proposed zoning bylaw change for what is the PV Mart site now, as Jackpot City will be moving over there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We
also had a good long conversation about adult day programs at Valley View and how we could add more and what the province needs to do for that to happen. We accepted as the report last night remember that huge Parks and Rec master plan.
We'll never forget that plan.
Whew. Me neither, because I'm not yet finished reading it, but we accepted the report last night, so it came to us.
Very good.
And then the report on the Community and Aquatic Center feasibility study was also accepted from the consultants last night, so we're going to talk more about pools and such. But in it, it states all the costs. And we need to have that conversation. So we said I requested as the mayor that we now take on the pool project as a committee of the whole, all of council.
Right.
And so the first thing we've asked is for our treasurer to come forward and tell us, where are we? What type of debt could we take on in this time of lots of things and lots of building happening in St. Thomas? However, no new taxes coming in yet from some pretty expressive businesses that will be here shortly. So I want to get kind of a timeline on, if you're going to build something that's worth between, and the consultant's report said pretty much between 70 million and 100 million to build a recreational complex that includes a pool, but also some other, gymnasium, other stuff that goes with it, and about $1.5 million worth of operating costs to run a pool a year, right? That in itself would be a 3 million or 3% tax increase. So we're going to talk about how are we going to pay for this, right? And so that we have it ready if the province ever asks, or comes up with some funds. They're not going to ask. We're going to have to go bugging them. But and then neat things like let's talk about a new child care center and some of the other neat things we're doing in town. Free transit for a job fair that Employment Services Elgin's putting on, and that was pretty much council. Except council ended. We did it really well. Then we went into 3 different public meetings last night.
Wow.
I've never done 3 in the same night, I don't think. But the first one was the Center Street rezoning. That's a piece of property along the rail tracks right at the entrance to the elevated park, right? And the owner of that property wants to put some townhouses in there, 3 blocks of townhouses in there, equaling about 24 townhouses. And of course, we need the housing. And it will hold the right amount of parking and such, and it fits the piece of property pretty well. But we had lots of conversation last night about parking for the elevated park. It's an old neighborhood versus a new concept. And look, we do public meetings on purpose, so we get this input from the folks. So that came in last night. The other one was Warehouse Street, which is, for those of you that don't know where it is, it's mirrors Talbot Street, south of where the new car wash is going in, where Brywood Market is. Right? And so changing the zoning, again, along the piece of railway track that was there, a number of apartments and towns and houses. So looking at the zoning there, public meeting was good there. And then we had a really neat one. Rezoning at 417 Wellington Street. No, 417 Wellington Street is the Elgin Center. But they've got a lot of business. They're zoned to do just about any business in the Elgin Center, but this is a zoning for there to be a doggy daycare and kennel.
Very cool.
In there, but for very small dogs. Not this isn't right. It's for dogs that probably don't do well with bigger dogs.
Right.
And so it's a separation of that. Had the people who will run that last night here and had that come forward to us. So that was what last night's council looked like. Boy, there's a few things happening in town.
Oh my goodness, Joe.
I mean, we got to thank Jennifer because I want to show you. Okay, that's what's the new stuff that's happening in town. This is stuff we've already talked about on Mayor's Update, but when we have time, we'll also share those again. But she's just done this perfectly. And I don't know if any of you were listening about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I said, geez, why can't we get these in the right order? Incredible. It's been exactly in the right order since that was just happened to be said on Mayor's Update. So here's some of them. Let's do some, and you watch for questions for us. The police services in support of Special Olympics, Thursday, March 12th, so 2 days from now, at the Railway City Brewing Company, there's a polar bear plunge. Now I know that they get this great big pool, and they go, and the fire department loves filling this pool up with about as cold a water as it possibly can. So that's fun too. The Maykin Music St. Patty's celebration on March 14th at the St. Thomas Senior Center. tickets are still available by calling the senior center. March break free skates. We're trying to get as many sponsors as we can. The mayor is sponsoring 2 free skates in March break, but just check your city social media or city website for the days and times of free skates. There is St. Paddy's Day's events at Caps Off, Back Alley, Rail City Brewing. Right? Perfect.
So many.
Right? Maggie's Wake, great band. It happens to, full disclosure, my niece is in this band, and she's a great fiddle player. And March 17th, so St. Patrick's Day, at the Princess Ave Playhouse, already have my tickets, but tickets are still available. Right? So I'm going to stop there and see what we got. We got anything? People just saying hi to us?
Yeah, and we got a question in about the old Park and Bowl building and what's going in there. That's the place over on Talbot.
Yeah, I see that there's a bit of renovation has started in there. I think there was some issue with building permits and zoning on it too. And so I think it was Rico Foods who was going in there. It's a specialty food kind of place.
Okay.
And so something still has to change from approval to build.
Right.
But that's where that one is.
Well, I just got a DM as well about e-bikes and scooters, and the citizens wondering, where are they supposed to be driving? In the bike lane or in traffic in St. Thomas? Is there a bylaw?
Either.
So they can either go in the bike lane or in traffic?
Look, I don't think, and they can go on our off-road trails, our trails and such too, but rules of the road still apply. Stay to the right, to watch for pedestrians and people walking dogs and stuff. I wouldn't like for us to have to outlaw them, right? So let's just use some common sense if you're going to be riding a electric scooter someplace in our community.
I love seeing they're like mini cars on the road.
Well, then aren't those the weirdest thing? Because the first time I saw one of those going down the sidewalk or going down one of our trails, and I went, "Who's driving a car through the Whistle Stop Trail?" And it's not. It truly is the same as a mobility scooter that I went out and tried this year. But it's an enclosed version of that. Almost looks like a little electric car. But, yeah, it's strange to see, isn't it?
I've gotten some great pictures. I have one of like the Horton Market where there's like one of those little mini cars, and then there's 2 pickup trucks on either side. Right.
It's
just the scale.
It's a family picture.
Yeah,
mom, dad, and the kids.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I like it. What else we got? Amazing Corbin Magic and Mystery Show, March 20th at the Public Library. Please register if you're going to be going to that. Community kindness event, Saturday, March 21st, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Dutton Community Center. A charity pickleball tournament's happening at the courthouse, which is the pickleball indoor place.
Over on Dennis Road?
Yeah. For the Elgin Children's Foundation Educational Bursary Program, that's March 28th, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Get registered because it's a fun pickleball tournament. RIP, Roaring Night of Laughter Comedy Night, April 11th from 8 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the Masonic Hall. Right? I think it's supposed to be Rip Roaring. It's Rip Roaring because it's the Rip Current Information Project that tells about that. I thought it was Rest in Peace. I'm sorry, Rip Current. Okay, got it. Joe will get, if he reads it more than once, he'll get it. All right. The Impact Awards, of course, are coming up April 17th, and I know you've been doing some filming for that.
So much filming, Joe.
So many good businesses in our community. They need to be recognized. That's taking place at the Joe Thornton Community Center on April 17th. Right? And here's some other stuff that's already been mentioned. I'll go quick. Winter at Horton Market, every Saturday. Get on out there, especially when it's beautiful like this. We're starting to see looking like spring out there. So
we are.
Good time. Curl for Kids, the Curl for Kids' Sake, Bonspiel. I thought it was sake. That doesn't make sense. No, this is the Big Brothers Big Sisters curling fundraiser. The Queso Bride. Visit that's March 14th. So that's coming up quickly too. And visit their website for more details. The Queso Bridal Show on March 15th, 1 to 4 p.m. And there is a pile more, and we'll get to What else did I needed? There's one I promised for sure.
We got Elevate Her, women's vendor show, which is also the business after 5 for the chamber.
Right.
That's 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the St. Anne Center.
Great.
Vendor space is still available.
Yeah, I'm looking for the Ennis sisters.
Yes,
because
March 26th.
I promised Gary was going to be on with us tonight. Couldn't come because he's off doing other things.
Yes,
as you already mentioned. But the Ennis brothers, the Ennis sisters, March 26th, 6:30 to 10 p.m. at the St. Anne Center, and tickets are still available for that too. Right, and it's a great fundraiser to help. I think the Immigration Partnership. I think that's part of what it's for.
Councillor Gibson is reminding us of the St. Thomas Legion Lord Elgin Branch 41, which is the Royal Canadian Legion, will be open St. Patrick's Day as well, from 4 to 9 p.m.
Excellent. And Rose will be going as a leprechaun.
Yeah,
you would think. Yeah. She's busy. We love her.
Absolutely. And Ross is saying, when is the project behind the old arena going to be launched? So that's that housing project back there.
They're already doing stuff there. I don't, by launched, what do you mean? They're digging holes. They've tested soil. They've got fencing up. Gravel's been delivered. I'm guessing it's a spring this year's project, but I haven't signed off on any permits or anything. So let's wait and see, I guess. And
Jen is letting Councillor Gibson know that it's on the list. The Royal Canadian Legion. We just haven't gone down the full list.
We haven't got all the way there yet. All right. So we when we get there, we'll say, hey, Councillor Gibson, we've got it on here.
Yep. It's somewhere on there. It is.
We're going to get there. But don't forget the Shamrock Shuffle.
Oh my goodness, yes.
March 28th, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Fundraiser for the Inn, and the Inn can always use the help. So, perfect. The downtown sock hop, shop hop, not sock, it's shop hop with the Easter Bunny, Saturday, April 4th, from 10 to 5, presented by the DDB, and the Easter Bunny will be out between 11 and 1. So, every bunny loves the Easter Bunny.
And the Easter Bunny will be handing out chocolate to the people they run into as well, which would be super fun.
Yeah.
Stopping into the shop.
Kind of Easter-like, isn't it?
A little bit. If we can afford it. I hear chocolate prices are skyrocketing.
Oh, no. It's like oil prices. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. The world is crazy right now.
Yes.
Sean's asking if the Leafs fans can ask for a wellness rebate, asking for a friend.
I guess so. Look, I think you have to take that up with the province.
Yeah.
They're in charge of healthcare. Yeah. How are we doing? Anything else?
No.
All right. I want to slow down just a little.
Just take a breath.
Ask us some questions about the city of St. Thomas. What's going on? I want to make some aware. Obviously, as we get to the springtime and the snow starts to melt, we see some piles of litter.
Yeah.
If you're a business person, get around your business. If you're a homeowner, get around your homeowner, your home, house, your neighborhood. Take a garbage bag with you if you're going out walking the dogs.
Yeah.
And let's start putting your teams together for community cleanup.
Yeah.
And more details to come probably next week. I know Jennifer will get it out here, and we'll start to let people know how they can be involved in community cleanups with us supplying some garbage bags, perhaps some free hamburgers, and some other things to help you do a better job of helping us clean up our community.
And love it.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to share as well, for the next Beehive, we go in depth with Dan Copert about the capital projects that the city are implementing in terms of roads.
This year. Yeah.
So there's several roads that are going to be worked on, and it's all covered in the Beehive. So Talbot's the main one, the Talbot construction from First to Fairview.
Yeah.
And then there's Woodworth Ave, the north section from Highway 3 up to South Edgware.
The other, right, the north of the highway, of the bypass. There's Elma Street, which is a very large project this year.
From Talbot all the way up to Highway 3.
Right.
And then there's Pearl, which is there's a small section there from Scott up to Elysium. And then there's also St. George, which goes from Talbot to Scott.
Right, because it matches another piece that was done in a previous year. A lot of conversation over the last 2 weeks, and I don't know why it happened. One was the public meeting in the old section about when will we do Old Talbot. And I just came up as I came from Fingal. And you're right. It's got some rough spots.
It's an adventure.
Yeah. But our chief engineer and I have had this conversation, and we need to do the underground on the old Talbot down the hill, right?
Oh, wow.
Water, wastewater, all the other underground
goodness.
we do. Probably next year, not this
Wow.
summer, but probably next year. So if you're thinking we're going to pave Old Talbot this year, what would be my line? Not going to do it, so I have to rip it up the following year and put new pipes in. So we'll do our best to do what we need to do with potholes and such, but because it'll be a big project in the next year or the year after, that hopefully that answers questions. I said to some people I would answer it on Mayor's Update.
So. Wonderful. We got a question in from Kelly: is can high school students get their community hours by doing the community cleanup?
Last year we did, but part of it was the schools were doing cleanup groups.
Right.
And so their vice principal and stuff can sign off. If indeed, say it was the Optimist Club that was out doing it, and they got high school kids to come with them, they're allowed to sign off on volunteer hours too. So check ahead of time so you make sure you're getting your volunteer hours. But why don't you get your school involved and say, hey, our school's going to, I mean, certainly the Whistle Stop Trail from Parkside into downtown.
That can always use.
And it's I don't want to say, I'm not blaming anyone, but an awful lot of litter down near the high school. So let's get a whole group together cleaning up.
Yep. And then the Elgin St. Thomas Community Foundation also has a lot of initiatives that are going on right now.
Oh, yes.
So they've got, if you go onto their Facebook page, you can see all the different things that they're working on.
Yes.
And we were hoping to have one of their members
on
we're trying today, but it didn't. The schedules just didn't work out.
Well, you know, somebody was in LA, and we didn't get that all set up because the mayor was working while you were away. But
no. Yeah, so many things.
Well, just like so much going on. So much going on
here.
Had a great euchre night last Thursday. Oh yeah, you were away.
I was away,
but we had fun.
Yep. And then Monday night, the Croconuts, they play at the senior center, Crocono.
Ow.
Yeah.
I was watching this kind of curling / Crocono.
Yeah.
It's done on a pond, right? And they put the posts in, and then there's a spot and it's a curling size rock, and you have to, it's like you're playing giant size Crocono.
Yeah, I love that.
It was neat to watch. It was, I went, what are you watching? I went, well, it's kind of like curling, but it's not curling. It's Crocono curling. Right? Yeah. But not to say that the small, good Crocono board. And you know what? We've got some great craftsmen in our area that make Crocono boards. Right?
We certainly do.
And they're not easy to do. It needs a good smooth surface and great woodworking skills that I don't have. I'm having trouble replacing a bifold closet door right now because I need a handyman, and I've got to put a new closet door in. So I'll get there. I will.
All right, but
I'm not handy.
Helpful but not handy?
No. Not even that.
Oh, get it. Jen's let us know that some of the Parkside Robotics team, they've been confirmed for March 24th. So they'll be on the show.
Right. So are we doing the show here? Or can we do it someplace where they're demonstrating robotics?
Let's see if we can figure that out.
Because I'd love to see.
Oh, my goodness.
I just saw Fred from the STEAM Center, and we were talking
about Fred.
About robotics and the stamp. What is Parkside?
Thunder stamps.
Thunder stamps. That's it. I knew there was a stamp in it. Right? Perfect. Well, I'm looking forward to having them on.
Oh, right? That'd be.
And they can tell us because they also
maybe we can battle robots.
Okay.
If we can battle robots, I think that would be incredible. Yeah. I'm just looking for. I save all these things on my phone here, but there's so much stuff to go through as you're kind of saving it. But there was
I do the same thing, but it gets buried under 200 emails, and then you got to try and find it.
So you're just scrolling through. But there was a great dialogue that showed up about the budget, because people were saying, what's the budget? I heard this, I heard that. And there were people on there that had actually gone on the city website. They got the summary for the budget.
Right. It said this is much is spent on police, this much spent on fire. We do we are transparent with what we have out there. Of course, when we talk budget, it's top of mind, but it's there for you to take. And of course, we did ask in the last 2 weeks for you to fill in a new survey about a new website we're building.
Yes.
Right, to make it easier to even find some of these details that we have. And I think somebody started off with, well, look at all this spending. And then they realized, went in and looked and said, well, that's an appropriate amount for police. That's an appropriate amount for fire. Right?
And if you go on the website, I found the screenshot here. But yeah, operating budget. So you get all
the
of
different things. Even the mayor's office is on there someplace.
Yep. And there was some misunderstanding about city manager because it just says department city manager. So people thought the city manager made $650,000.
No, Alicia, we pay her well, but she manages the whole of the administration of all of these city employees. And so her office is bigger than her.
Yes.
And just like the mayor's office isn't just me, it is expenses we have on behalf of the city.
Yep. And then other people were bringing up the library and they're like, there's $3 million for the library. And in my opinion, or almost $3 million, $3 million for 2026. Right. It's great. The amount of work that those folks do and the number of staff they have.
How good we have in a one branch system in our main library. And there's a lot of discussion about libraries. Should we have another branch? And we probably should, but finding the ideal space, and that would likely then be part of that new rec complex that we're talking about, be a place to put it. But it's not only about taking out books. It's the events and such that happen at our library. So, and that can only be done by the great people we have working there.
And the airport's in brackets. Does that mean the airport is making money?
Yeah,
on the budget?
Could be if it's a positive number. Yeah, great. Well, as we've explained on here a number of times,
there are airplanes at the airport.
Well, and there's about 80 people that go to work there every day, and some of the businesses that are now located at our airport, and so their income and fuel sales and such. And as you see often, somebody says, I saw jets circling and landing and circling.
Yes.
Yeah, our airport's used a lot for takeoff and landing practice. While they're here, they fill that sucker up. It's a little bit of a bill when you put jet fuel in a big airplane. So,
oh my goodness! Yeah.
So it's good that we're getting some of that income.
And then Ontario Works, because most people probably don't know that the city works with Ontario Works. So how does that? Well,
we administer it all. The province sets aside funding for Ontario Works and ODSP, but we take care of social housing and across the county, and so Ontario Works across the county also. And so it's St. Thomas employees distributing what would be provincial funds. That'd be a better way to put it.
That's perfect.
Yeah. I'm getting good at this. 8 years later, you'd think I knew what I was doing. This is really helpful.
It's very, very handy. 8 years, you finally got in the groove there. But I just say anyone who wants to go on the website, you can find the operating budget by department, and you can just take a look.
So they're great questions. So if you do that and you have questions, come on here next week and ask us the question.
We'd love to explain it.
Update, right? As you said, there's a public meeting going on tonight at the Railway Museum, talking about what they think their future looks like and what they'll have to do, and we're purposely letting people give public input as to what's going on, and hopefully the team at the Rail Coalition, Railworks, will work out what needs to be done. The city can be as cooperative as it can be.
Absolutely. And Steve Emery is saying the mall will be a good place for the library branch, and there is kind of like a remote branch there.
We did have a remote branch there during one of the renovations, in one of the storefronts, and then a book kiosk stayed there after the fact, and I think it is still there.
I believe so. I think it was non-operational a couple weeks ago, but
boy, something new going into the Elgin Center almost every week now. I see a new restaurant under construction in there. The food court's had some changes. Hey, we got a dog kennel in there.
It's very exciting.
Excellent.
And in terms of the library as well, one of the other points that was brought up by the commenters was about how they do so much more than just books. Like physical copies of books. There's the audio books, which is a large part of their budget as well.
You can do electronic stuff, just download it with your library card.
I've got it. You can also do 3D printing. You can do paper printing. They'll help you. They have a media studio. A
and
creator
then all the
space.
other neat fun things like that we've done, like the
Yes.
stuffy parade or
it.
storybook reading
Yeah.
or and then the adult book club. You know how many times, somebody's having just 5 of their friends over to talk about a book they're all reading.
And board games on Thursdays.
Right. They can do all of that in the library too. Bring your friends and we can
It's a
talk
real
about
community hub.
Oh, no. It is the hub of the community, and I'm glad it's right next to us here, right beside Westlake Evans Park and behind City Hall.
And for anyone who doesn't know, the Carnegie Library is a part of City Hall now, and that was the original library in St. Thomas.
Where our planning department is now.
Beautiful
used
building.
to be the library. It's now connected to City Hall by a few passageways and
it's very cool.
maze, right? Yeah.
All right. Well, we're at the end of our time. We've got through the questions there.
The end of our time, or we're out of Mayor's Update?
We're out of Mayor's Update. We're not done. We'll be back next week.
Yes.
But
we're happy to answer your questions. If you have any in between, leave us questions and we'll try and get back to the answers on all of them. But watch your Mayor's Update for all the factual information you get. Watch your Beehive because it'll tell you so much stuff that's going on in our community. You can ask some questions based on that too. And then we'll continue to give you construction updates on Mayor's Update, but Beehive is a great place to get them.
Absolutely. All right, folks. Mayor
Joe,
Joe,
you already.
Thanks again. Appreciate you.
Good to have you back.
Good to be back.
Yeah.
Good to be back in Canada.